today is all about layout. I have made beautiful layout pictures. We are going to start our wood project today. So we're actually going to be doing a wood parquet design. I will show you guys the color elevation very soon. But this is basically what we're aiming to make, is we're going to lay this out today. Now, it's actually great that there's 6 of you because we only have 2 chalk lines, and 3 people is a great number for chalk lines. Now, I'm going to run through how to use chalk lines and do that. I'm sorry if this is repeat for anybody, but just in case someone is not. So, follow the dimensions. It basically breaks down. First you're gonna do your centers. Then you're gonna measure. So when something says 6 inches typical, when it has a TYP, that means typical. That means do the same thing for both sides. So basically, that dimension is saying you measure 6 inches out from this center and 6 inches out, every 6 inches out from this center. Does that make sense? Again, as you start going, it will make a little more sense. But when you see that typical, that basically means do it the same.
Center and go.
It also means do it the same on both sides. So like, or something is the same, like you're doing platforming, say, and you have stairs on both sides. Well, I don't want to put the same labels. I can just say, hey, 8 inches typical. That means it's the same for this same set of stairs on the other side.
Got it.
Great little cheat if you don't want to overdo it on the labels. So you're basically going to lay out those diagonals along your horizontal centers, flip it over, and you're going to lay out your verticals. Now, kind of choose your own adventure. You can lay out your diagonals first, or if you want to run these verticals first, like you can measure every 6 on either side here, throw those down first, then you can do the diagonals, and we'll just use a little rod and go and erase those lines. It is up to you, however you want to do it. The goal is, when you're snapping lines, you need 2 points to snap between, okay? The only danger is if you're doing your verticals, don't try and snap to the diagonals. You're gonna have to run it all the way to your other point, okay? Great. So, chalk lines. These are special. Do not lose these, please. These have charcoal in them. You only want to use chalk lines that have charcoal when you're working on paint stuff, because most chalk lines have blue in them. Bad, very, very bad when you're trying to paint, because it doesn't go away. And it can die underneath and cause all kinds of havoc. Only use charcoal lines. Now,
So the blue ones for like construction or something?
they're the same as exactly the same as chalk lines, except instead of having blue or white or red chalk, these just have powdered charcoal in them.
Okay.
Basically, charcoal is great because charcoal is going to erase nicely if we want it, but also kind of leave an outline. Because basically, you're going to snap all your lines, and then we're going to do something called flogging. I will show you. It's great fun. And then you're going to marker them in. That is where we absolutely need to get to today, is finish that layout. If I'm doing really well, we might be able to get to scumbling, but we might have to hold off on that if the color mixing is being feisty today, but we will get there. Okay, so chalk line. It's got a lot of charcoal. These are just charged. I just poured them in. So usually, if you want to give it a shake, just kind of gets the chalk on the line. Now, what I'm going to have is somebody. I always say try and keep it up if you can, because if you point it down, it's going to spit charcoal everywhere, which is not fun. I'm using gloves because charcoal really does get everywhere. It also, masks might end up helping us, kind of keeping it out of our noses, but when you blow your nose tonight, if it's black, you're not dying, it's okay. So, Emily, I'm going to hand you this end. What you're going to do, see how it's already like coming out? Now, very important. Emily is going to set her end first. So you see that little tick mark? I've already marked out the centers. You're going to do that with a tape measure. Again, I've given you the dimensions. 1'6" along your short lines, and 2'6", basically mark your centers. Okay, so lay that down on...
Like this, like you want the rope on the edge? Or
yes, so great question. So you can do that, but I always recommend take the rope, because what's going to happen is if you put that little clip on the edge, first of all, it can waffle on you. Second of all, you're going to lose that edge. You're going to lose maybe half an inch. So always pull the rope. Now, hold on tight. Okay. This is the key to this snap line. I'm going to pull wicked tight against her. So super, super tight. I gently lay it down on my tick mark. Now, somebody is going to come, and see what I did there? Don't do that. But you want to basically, I'll go ahead and do it for this one. Basically, your third's going to come to center, lift straight up, And look at that beautiful, crispy, straight line, except where I waffled, so don't do that. But And probably with these, we might be able to get 2. So go ahead now, keep it up as we go. And again, and again, you really gotta hold it. You want it as taut as you can. That is always the goal. Again, these are a little new, so we might not be able to get 2 snaps, but definitely try it. All right, does someone wanna come and give it a good snap? Straight up. Great, that is plenty. Okay, so that is how you're going to snap all of your lines. So again, from here, you look at your thing, and again, you can either do your horizontals or with your, see, gets all over the place, that's okay for these. For the verticals, you would measure every 6 inches along here, okay? So every 6 inches on here for your verticals. For the diagonals, again, going to take it 6 inches here and 6 inches coming up here. Follow your layouts, okay? Take your time, do your measurements right. We have till 2:55, maybe a little beyond if you don't need to go beyond that, but that is how you're gonna snap with the snap lines. And then, once you're done snapping your lines, it's gonna be a little charcoaly, and since we wanna do marker on top of it, you could just do it right on top. But if you do get too much charcoal in your marker, it's gonna hurt the marker. So, have a flog. This is a lovely tool. Just gonna take it. See how it kind of lifts that line up a little bit? Just enough to get all that extra charcoal off while not lifting up all that beautiful work that you've just done, okay? See how it gets up all the dust and makes your lines a little lighter? You wanna do that, so when you go to do the marker, you're not getting extra dust in your marker, okay? And it's great fun, and none of this, okay? You really want, you saw how hard I can hit that, and I'm not lifting that line like that much at all, okay? Well, now Janae. This is Janae, right? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Hooray. Okay, so someone will have to catch Janae up on ordering, so I think we're good on the